Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Billy and Andre show where... Heatwave! This is my island in the sun where my people have come since time begun. That song. How are you doing, dude?
You're actually going with that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm not even gonna retake it.
Okay, cool.
Because at this point, I'm too hot to care.
So I just have to bleep you out. Okay,
yes.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yes. It's like how you always have to do that. Yeah.
just in that first 12 minutes, and then I don't care anymore.
How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, good. Just trying to survive this heat wave.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's sort of petering out a little bit now, but it
was not a pleasant week.
It has not been a pleasant week at all. No. So Monday, if I remember correctly, was pretty toasty. Last Monday was pretty warm, but
the whole week was pretty toasty. I think on Thursday it peaked at 36.
Oh, we'll get into the high scores in a second, my friend. It turns out that a lot of records were broken this past week.
Woohoo,
and
yay.
in May as well, when we had a very similar thing happen.
Yeah.
For those of you don't know, my job involves a lot of walking around outside. So, and it also involves me having to wear like some sort of professional looking shit. So I'm like not really wearing shorts and t-shirts. I'm wearing like a shirt and trousers and heavy walking boots because I have to do so much walking. So, as you can imagine, the last 4 or 5 days have been fucking hell. They've been really, really bad. I have sweat my own body weight at least several times.
You are looking trim, so it's fine.
Thank you. I have lost weight, mostly in water, but literally, I would. My beloved partner would put a large bottle of water into the freezer like the night before, so we get like a huge bottle of like ice basically in the morning. I put it in my bag to go to work. By the time I got to work, like an hour and whatever later, it would mostly melted. It was just
you will have cold water for another 10 minutes after that.
I had cold water for another 10 minutes if I kept it in the bag. If I exposed it to the outside world, it would immediately become warm steam. And then trying to put that in your face is not fun, it turns out.
No.
It's not hydrating.
Usually
either.
it doesn't, yeah.
Yeah. How have you been managing to stay cool in this heat, dude?
Mostly driving to work and staying in the air conditioning.
Well,
the problem was, for me this week, the problem wasn't going to work and working itself, was being at home. Mm-hmm. British houses are not meant for this heat.
Yep.
And also for everybody that will be like, yeah, well, it's hotter in other places. Yeah, but it's not the same heat, man. It's definitely not the same heat.
Yeah, you were talking about Cyprus the other day.
It's similar heat in Cyprus. The same idea of being on an island where there's a lot of moisture, and then it's just the air chokes you.
Yeah.
As you walk.
Yeah, it's thick.
It's very thick.
You can almost feel it hitting you. Whenever there's a stiff breeze, all of a sudden it's just like.
I'm not a fan. Well, one of the reasons I left Cyprus was because of the heat, right? So I'm genuinely not a fan of taking a shower just so I can take another shower, because as soon as you got out of the shower, you're sweating already.
Yeah.
So it got that bad here for 2-3 days, but I was literally taking a shower, fixing my hair, and running out the door straight into the car, just to be inside of air conditioning, and then
you sit there for a few minutes just to recover for a second, and then go, right, this is what my normal body temperature is supposed to be.
So at my work, right, I did 3 openings the last week, so that means you're the first human being in the building, right? You unlock the building, and there's sunroofs, and there's light from 5 o'clock in the morning. You walk in, there were 39 degrees.
Ooh.
Because the air conditioning system has a temperature gauge on it.
Yeah.
And it just told at me. And I'm like, okay, cool. Put the AC on. Go for a cigarette. Because it's not as hot outside just yet.
It's still 6 in the morning, so it's still a reasonable sort of 24.
No, it was still hot at 6 in the morning, man. It's insane. And then just come back in 10 minutes and be like, all right, cool, let's work now, because... it's manageable. But it was lovely at work, man. Having air conditioning is beautiful. Yeah, I know.
No, it's just my soul is screaming with rage right now.
It's okay.
But luckily, I've managed to channel this rage into some interesting podcast facts about heat waves. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
All right, let's give me facts. I love facts.
So, yeah. Have you heard that? Climate change is bad. You've heard that before.
Climate change?
Yeah,
it's a myth, man. What are you talking about? No climate is changing.
England's always been like this, man.
Yeah,
right?
This has always been like this.
Don't you remember 1976? Everyone's heard of 1976. That time when it was 36 degrees once.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I tried to keep.
Look, it was weird, right? Because ever since I've been going to school, and probably ever since you've been going to school as well, like we've all had science lessons where there's been like, oh, this is how climate change works.
To a certain degree, yeah.
Yeah, we've all known that this is how it works. This is the greenhouse effect. This is CO2. This is basic shit like that. There also was like another thing in like the English school like textbooks. It's like, the record height for England was in 1976 and it was 35.9 degrees Celsius.
Oh, we beat that.
Yeah, boy.
I think by at least 2 degrees. Oh, well, you have the facts.
Yes, yeah, we'll get to those in a second. But recently, there's been a lot of stories about us hitting a certain target that was set out by the Paris Climate Accords 10 years ago. 1.5 degrees warming since the Industrial Revolution. That's general global overall warming. 1.5 degrees.
Oh, as in, wait, they set up to get it warmer?
They set it up to, the Paris Climate Accords were supposed to keep warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius worldwide.
Okay.
We have already hit that. That was 10 years ago. It wasn't really expected to happen this quickly.
Okay.
Basically, it looks like it's going to get up to 2 degrees, like overall global warming, where that's when stuff starts getting really, really bad.
Okay. Well, the caps are already melting.
Yeah, like that's when
polar caps.
Yeah, that's when you get more polar caps melting, you get more extreme weather, and you get like more droughts and crop failures and water shortages, that kind of thing.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're probably going to hit that around 2035, so we'll probably see that fairly soon, to be honest. We'll be slightly older men with hopefully a slightly better podcasting setup.
Maybe. I'm making no promises.
Either that or we'll hate each other and have sworn like a blood feud that runs between families.
And then we're going to run our own individual podcast and just slag each other off.
Literally just the Billy and Andre drama show.
Oh, that's cool, man.
We should definitely do that. Whenever we shut this down for whatever reason, we'll start our own podcast where we just insult each other constantly.
That's right. We can do that.
And no one will know because no one listens to this podcast.
So that's fine.
So, yeah, in 2024, that was the first year where we started hitting the 1.5C like global average.
Yep.
It does sound like pretty bad, but it's like 24 was like the first year, so it isn't consistently that much hotter yet.
Okay.
Give it another...
just averaging it out and be like, okay, cool, the average is we are hitting that.
Yes, okay. Yeah. It's like when all the averages get splayed out, we're still at like 1.3.
Okay.
Still not very good. It's still not very good.
It doesn't sound good. It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good.
It's really hot.
Yeah. So at the moment, like I've done it because I did like, as the first thing you do whenever you're researching anything, right? Where do you go?
You Google it.
You Google it, and the first site you look for is
Wikipedia.
True. And Wikipedia has like a long sort of documented list of like all the heat waves in the world and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting because like you'd think the records would begin like about 1900 or whatever, and there'd be like a fairly consistent sort of spread of heat waves across like the 20th century and up till now, right?
No, I wouldn't think that.
No,
no. This is like no, I wouldn't think that because since the Industrial Revolution, this all started, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I'm ruining your flow.
No, it's fine. Let's just say that everything from 1900 till like the year 2000 has one page. Everything past the year 2000, every like past the year 2000, like a group of like 5 years has a page to itself, like heat waves between 2001, 2005, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When it gets to the 2020s, every single year has its own Wikipedia page because that's how many heat waves there are, like all over the place. There was one in India in 2024 where the temperature reached 50.3 degrees Celsius.
Dude, it was already hot there. You don't need it hotter than that.
I know. Usually they have heat waves which hit 45 degrees Celsius.
I mean, that's manageable.
Is it? I don't know. No, I've never been to India. Have you?
No.
We have Indian friends. Maybe we should ask them, like, how do you deal with the heat waves in India because they're so much worse than here?
Probably air conditioning, which makes the climate worse.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, record heat waves basically for the last 5 years have been pretty much standard. Like every single summer there's been like, oh, this is the hottest day in May ever. Oh, this is the hottest day in June ever. Oh, there's the hottest day in July ever.
Well, actually, you are right. Like now thinking back, the last 4 years, we had a heat wave every single year.
I have here a list of like the hottest recorded temperatures in the UK. Let me just find this here. So the top 10 hottest days ever recorded in the UK. Pretty much all of the top 5, down to the top 6. Like the top 6, 5 of them are from the last 5 years.
So we had one every year.
Basically, yeah. So 2022 was a nasty one. High record there of 40.3 in Lincolnshire.
40.3.
40.3 degrees, yes, in the 2022 heat wave.
That's insane.
Which was pretty bad. I was stuck in a refuge for that one with no aircon.
Wow.
I always have jobs with no air conditioning. It's great.
Because there's no air conditioning in the UK. Like, it's very unlikely to have. If it's not a commercial building, there's no AC. Because...
Even if, you know?
Well, fun enough, I was watching a dude on YouTube today, and he was like talking about how to cool down the UK houses, and he was talking about air conditioning. And he approximates that to install proper air conditioning where you have the inside unit and the outside unit. By the inside unit that takes the hot air, circulates it sort of to a fridge sort of system, pushes the hot air out, and then gives you cold air. And the one that kind of cools down the whole room in minutes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the actual AC, yeah.
$3,000-ish, between $2,000 and $3,000. And then he followed up by saying, oh, if you think you can DIY this, which is, it's an idea. Maybe you could do it. He pointed out that the whole AC unit has to be connected to a special socket that has its own little breaker on the... So you can't even do that because it has to be up to standard, because you can set your house on fire. And even if you end up doing that, because, you're courageous and of course you can do it, then you have to pipe it. So you need a plumber for it as well that knows gas, and they have to have special equipment for the gas.
Yeah.
So it's like AC, no, not viable. Like, I can't afford to put. I wanted to put solar panels on top, right? At $16,000.
Yeah.
That's just $2,000. Like, how are you gonna be self-sufficient? You can't do it, man.
You're right about the air conditioning thing. It's right. It's a right pain in the ass. We're going to discuss some interesting alternatives towards the end, though. So hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought. So a bunch of these like incredibly hot days have all occurred like in the last sort of 10 like years for the most part. Like it's not a straight line up. Obviously we have big spikes in the line, but the line overall is going up. We've known it's coming for like 50 fucking years. We could talk about why nothing has been done about climate change and why nothing has been done to slow all this, but it's basically oil, money, and they control the government. What are you gonna fucking do? The problem is, like when you're a kid, climate change seems like a sort of abstract thing. It's like a thing that's too big to sort of imagine, like the entire world, really big place, heating up by an amount that sort of doesn't feel like a lot. 1 degree is not very much, right? So
yeah.
So let's talk about the actual impacts of this, especially here in the UK, because the UK is kind of shit for this, like in every possible way. It's like the worst country for this kind of thing, and it's probably going to hit us very, very hard.
You mean the heat waves?
Yes, for heat waves, and well, naturally, no, there are going to be way more countries that are fucked by climate change than us, but heat waves in particular. Can you guess, take a rough sort of guess, like how many people since, let's say, the 1980s have died in heat waves in the UK?
I actually Googled this the other day.
Oh, did you?
I did. We talked about this the other day.
Oh, yeah, you did mention it.
Yeah.
Can you remember it?
Yeah, roughly around 10,000 people.
Nope. Not since the 80s. The actual number is 50,000.
Oh, okay.
Most of those have, I will say the 10,000 number you saw, that's just in the last, like, sort of 5-10 years. Like, that's a much shorter time frame.
So it's just amplified as you come closer to our impending doom.
Yeah, the rate of number of people dying has been slowly crawling up. So all of those, like, most of those deaths happened in the 2020, like 2022, I think, killed 5,000 people.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Here's another follow-up question. You probably didn't look this up, but now this is what's going to my head. Do we have age of these people?
Not the specific age demographics, but older people are more vulnerable and young people are also more vulnerable, because that's just how it works. I mean,
we're in the middle. We're fine. So as long as the impending heat wave doom comes and we're still in our 40s, it will be fine.
Yeah. It will be completely fine until we hit 60, and we'll immediately die of heat stroke. The thing is, older people, they're like, because older people, especially people with dementia who have like some sort of brain damage or organic injury there going on, one of the things that sort of fails eventually when you get old enough is like your temperature regulation, like in your brain.
Okay.
So you don't actually notice how hot or cold you are. Interesting. Just for comparison,
I love how you almost said fun fact.
Well, it's not fun because it involves lots of dead people. But fun fact: 50,000 people died of heat waves in that period.
Yeah.
But the cold winters killed 200,000. So generally, older people struggle with noticing when their house gets too cold. And if they're living by themselves, then they don't turn the heating up. All of a sudden, they'll just die of exposure.
Also, if you're in the UK, Starmer just took your allowance to actually pay for heating. So.
True, that he did. I'm not sure if he turned around on that before.
He kind of did.
He kind of did.
But still took a bunch of money from them.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, piece of shit. I'm glad he's gone. He's going to be gone.
Not yet. We still have him until September. That's 3 months, man.
I know, right? Like, how does he get to just, like, if I resign from my job, usually they say get out within 2 weeks, right? They don't say, oh yeah, you can just keep working here for 3 months and keep getting paid.
And keep on ruining anyway.
Yeah,
heat waves,
we're not talking about
waves,
Starmer. We're talking about heat waves, which are interesting, unlike Keir Starmer. So, according to the Office of National Statistics, the sort of safe temperature, ambient temperature for human beings, ideally is between 10 degrees C and 22 degrees C.
Yeah.
Anything above 22 degrees, you start getting like increased risks of things, just things in general.
Yeah.
That includes like heart attacks, brain hemorrhages, just
the small things.
Yeah, small things. Here's an interesting statistic I found. Over 29 degrees C, in London specifically, they found that there is 3 times a risk of people dying of heat exposure. So that it multiplies by 3 times when you get over 29 degrees.
Okay. Also, you put a multiplier, you're in London.
Yeah. So, like...
Because it's like London is...
No. The rates are the same everywhere. But 29 degrees C in London, that's considered a high risk for old people, right? What was the temperature the last time you visited London, Andre? Because I visited it at 33.
I think it was in the high, in the low 30s.
It was in the low 30s, yeah.
That was a few weekends ago, and it was not pleasant.
It was not pleasant at all, no. So 29 degrees C in London is fucking all the time. It's constant there. So if you, yeah, like
concrete.
Well, kind of. We'll get into that in a bit, but basically, like all the time for the last few years, like London has been peaking way past that. So there's massive increased risk for older people in London right now.
Yeah.
And
so sell your flats,
get
out, bring the prices down on property.
Sell your goddamn flats. Seriously, people need flats. Move out to like the coast, man. It's cooler there.
Move up north. Listen.
Move up north.
Well, here's the thing. It's so. Oh, here's a solution, Billy. I got the solution, Billy.
Here's
the
final one.
It's. What do you mean? It's the final one? No.
It's the final solution to the old people question.
No. Here's the thing, right? Up north in Wales.
Yeah.
We're talking up though. We mean Scotland, not up north as in Manchester.
Right.
Further up, right? We're talking Scotland and Wales. It's empty. It's barren. There's nobody there. How about we send all the old people there? Make it as our own Florida.
Yes.
Because it gets really hot and temperatures are right. We just send old people up there.
So what you're saying is we should build ski resorts in the Scottish Highlands and just send old people there to die in skiing accidents rather than... Okay, no.
No, that's a different thing. But what I'm saying is all these old people should sell their properties, move up north, or in Wales. I will prefer Wales, to be honest. And just go. They have the Welsh cakes, man. Are delicious. You had Welsh cakes?
I've not had Welsh cake.
You should have a Welsh cake. And we move all the old people there. It goes great with tea. Old people like cake and tea. Dude, it's perfect. It just works perfectly. And then all of a sudden we have all this property that is empty now because all the old people are in Scotland, which was empty before, but that now it's not empty.
And we can put some air conditioning in it and make them into actual, like, habitable places.
Doesn't matter, dude, because, again, as soon as you hit the age of 55, maybe you should consider moving up north. Just saying, just leave the young people some property.
What happened to Grandma? She got sent upstate. Literally, just send them upstate.
Just send them upstate.
Where it's cooler and they can live.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden, it's not 29 degrees. It comes between the 10 and the 21, as you said, and they're going to be living so comfortably up in the mountains. It's great.
Dude, I've just got an awesome idea for like a sci-fi post-apocalypse shit. Like, the world is divided into bands, and where you live depends on how much you can tolerate the heat.
Are you going to actually say this on recording before we actually write the script? So somebody can steal this idea.
No. This is a recording of that idea existing, so we are copywriting it as of now.
Okay, go on.
Pay attention for my book, available from all good book retailers eventually.
From Waterstones.
Never, because the Waterstones would have shut down by the time I finish.
Go on, tell me your sci-fi idea.
So, sci-fi idea, basically, because older people cannot live, like, you know, below a certain point of the equator, it's just too hot. All the older people from every country have to be forced into, like, the Antarctica, basically. They have to go live in Antarctica. And where we send the kids as well, because the kids have to stay, like, you know, relatively good temperature as well. They can't sweat properly, so they need to go...
So you get the old people to raise the kids. And
and whilst all the people our age go off into the sun-scorched wasteland of the rest of the planet to work. That's probably what's going to happen.
You can build it in such a way that the Earth turned into this... Oh, I will no.
We can't spoil all the ideas and the plot developments. I think that's a good start.
All right, let's talk about heat waves.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. I'm actually going to write that down.
Waves. So yeah, since about 2022, we've had an average of sort of 3 heat waves a year. I don't know if you've noticed. Like it's been like May usually, June usually, possibly one in July, possibly one in August.
Well, last year we had it in September, dude.
Yeah, that's true. We had one in September last year as well.
That was not fun.
That was weird. That was just came out of nowhere, that one.
Yeah, it was like, it just waited, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like 3 is sort of like our minimum almost now. Like it's we've been averaging 3 because I think over the last few years, 2024 had no heat wave here, but it had a heat wave everywhere else in the world, but not here, strangely enough. We sort of dodged that bullet. So that 0 sort of like takes it down a little bit, but we have these sort of week-long, you know, roughly week-long, sometimes 3 days, sometimes 5 days.
And they always promised us a thunderstorm at the end, and the last one was very disappointing.
It was
I do have to say, I was expecting quite a bit of thunder. There was none.
There was some thunder. There was some thunder and lightning.
You can't consider that thunder, sir. There was not enough thunder.
What I was disappointed by was the lack of rain, if I'm honest, because the rain was what was necessary.
I was hoping it's going to rain because I wanted to just walk outside.
Yeah.
In the rain.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
I was actually like, it was Thursday to Friday, like it was Thursday night, like I was staying up, like just because I could not sleep. I was laying in a pool of sweat with like fans turned on me, like my head out of an open window. Absolutely nothing was cooling me down. I'm like, I've got one more day of work before I can like not worry about my sleep schedule. Can I please just get through this night? And then all of a sudden I felt the breeze get colder and like the air start to shift, and it was like...
But it was just for a second. And then
for a second.
Because Friday night was still cold, it was still hot.
Friday night was still really bad.
And last night was decent.
Last night was okay. It was like tolerable at least. Like I didn't feel like I was fighting my own body in order to get to sleep. So, you know, there's only so much weed you can do to drown your brain in like...
Well, Friday night I drank so much I just fell asleep drunk. And I don't know if I was just sleeping well or I was just drunk. But I woke up with a horrible headache on Friday.
Dehydration, man.
Dude, like, it was insane. Anyway, move on with your thing, dude.
We'll get on to dehydration in a bit, man. Don't worry, we're getting through the thing. So, yeah, a whole bunch of people have been dying in these heat waves, man. Like, every single time, like, at least, like, the last 2 heat waves we've had have been record setters. Like, just, you know, if you look down at the list of, like, hottest days of every month, like, you know, I've got a whole bunch of like lists here. Thank you, Wikipedia. But if you look from like the top down to July, which isn't started yet, July was the hottest one. Was that one I mentioned earlier, 40.3?
Yeah.
That was 2022. We haven't started it yet, but May and June are both records, both held by 2026 this year.
Oh, great.
So whatever comes next, which I think is towards the end of July, according to the Met Office. It's going to be really bad, and it might be even worse record-breaking shit for England.
I'm planning to buy that a portable AC unit.
I don't know if they're going to work, man.
They do work.
I mean, you got a smallish flat. You'll probably be fine, but I'm not sure if it's going to be, you know, as effective as you hope it will be.
I just want to be able to sleep, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Just sleep in a room that's not dying.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. So why is the UK so shit? We've already discussed a fair few of these things.
The government.
Well, the people. No. Yep. The reason the UK is uniquely shit at dealing with these things is because we are already kind of in a place which is hotter than it should be. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like laterally, like if you look at the latitude of England, it's sort of on the same level as Moscow and like Finland and Norway and places like that.
Yeah.
With tons of snow and much colder climates, right? But because we're an island, and because we're directly in the path of the warm water that comes up from the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf Stream, it keeps England like a much more moderate temperature than it should be. It keeps it the same temperature as the rest of Europe, really. You know?
To a certain degree, yeah.
To a certain degree. I mean, it also means we have shitloads more rain, which is annoying, but, you know, that's England.
I mean... looking at it now.
Yeah, I kind of like the rain these days a lot more.
Yeah. You just need a couple of heat waves to appreciate what you have, you know?
Yeah. I mean, British people are famous for complaining about the weather because it rains all the time and it rains randomly for no reason. But also, I like the rain.
Well, environmentally speaking, right? Because as you were saying things, we're not going to be as bad with droughts and stuff. Because they're starting to reintroduce the beaver population. We talked already about the
yes,
beaver
we did. Yeah, it's really cute.
Yeah, so they're reintroducing the beaver population. They genetically tested these beavers, are the same beavers they used to live, well, genetically speaking, here before British people hunted them.
Yeah, we'll get into that one day.
Well, dude, that's insane. Anyway, so they're starting to reintroduce in all of the South. Now every county kind of has a beaver population. Without giving it away where we are, we have 12. We have one family of 12 members in our region, which is pretty great, and it's already bringing more water to the soil. So I think if they keep on going on this idea and actually start introducing wolves as well, then automatically
hunt the beavers, obviously, because otherwise the beavers are going to just tear down all the trees.
So the thing is, wolves should hunt the foxes, because foxes hunt rats, and you need rats in this sort of environments. Dude, it's a whole thing, right? So they need
food web with Andre.
Yeah. No, you need wolves, you need beavers, and then all of a sudden you'll see the environment change towards the better. Like it happened in Yellowstone Park. You remember the Yellowstone Park with the wolves?
Yeah.
As soon as the wolves got in there, the whole environment changed for the better. So we kind of need that. So I think if they keep on doing this sort of smart things, they're gonna end up, not being that bad. Maybe we're gonna actually come on top because we'll still have a lot of rain and hot water summers. I don't know.
That sounds like a positive spin on things, dude. I'm glad that at least
just wait. I'm
gonna
say something horrible in a minute. Just give me a second.
I'm just glad the beavers are doing good work because the government is not, and let me tell you why.
Because they're not beavers.
Because they're not fucking beavers, dude. Because they're not beavers. They do not have the teeth for it. They don't have those cool ass tails. They do not have waterproof fur. Besides possibly wet streeting, not sure. But yeah, here's the thing. Foreigners talk a lot of shit about how England's oh, it's only this degrees, mate. Why is it so hot? Let me tell you why it's so fucking hot. In Spain, for example, I probably have this on Cyprus as well. I'm not sure.
Okay.
In Cyprus, do they have external window shutters on the outside of buildings? They do in Spain. I know they do in Spain quite a lot.
Yes, they do actually. Some places I think they do have that.
Yeah, England doesn't have those anywhere, ever, because why would we? We don't really need them. And the thing with external shutters is that it keeps the heat out much better than just... Everyone's heard the trick, just close your curtains. It will bounce the light, the heat back out. It will keep the heat out.
Yeah.
Doesn't really work, because the triple glazed window is already... the light's already gone through the window. Now it's just bouncing between the curtain and the window. That's not really helpful. So in places like Spain, Mexico, hot countries, they put shutters on the outside. So you fold them in, and that stops the heat from entering your house at all.
Okay, fair enough. Actually, didn't think of that.
It's because I was reading on tips how to stay cool, and my dad, being an engineer, was looking over my shoulder, going, "Yeah, that's not going to work. Fucking need to do this instead." So. So I did a little bit of looking up, and yeah, the outside shutters work a whole lot better. So unfortunately, the government is not going around and doing this or encouraging people to do this. They're just telling people to shut their curtains and, wait, basically. Also, UK homes just in general are built for trapping heat. I mean, everything is made out of very, very heavy bricks. Everything is made out of, everything is insulated. I mean...
Well, that was the point was because it was colder here. So,
it was.
So
yeah.
Now they're I don't think that if anybody's actually looking and making the buildings differently.
No, they're not. There's not been any plans for because let's face it, even if we did design new buildings differently, which I think they kind of do a little bit now, even if we did start designing new buildings differently, it wouldn't matter because all of these buildings that we live in are fucking old as shit,
Yeah, that's true.
All the sort of centers of population are old as fuck. If we build any new places, it's like Milton Keynes. It's really depressing, and no one wants to live there. But with the America, for example, America has very, very lightly built homes, especially in the hot places like the West Coast or whatever.
I always thought they did that because of the hurricanes
and the earthquakes. Yes, but they also build it because it's cheaper, and you need your house to be able to radiate a certain amount of heat. You don't need to build a house in California to protect yourself against the rain, because there isn't any.
There's no rain yet.
There's no fucking rain in California, so it's just every house there is built out of like wood and timber and like, you know, plaster, rather than everything over here, which is like 2 layers of bricks with like a thick foam in the middle to trap all the heat in.
Yeah.
That's why, like, you know, your work might have been all right, but your house was just like a sweltering death box. And
It was. Yep. The cats didn't have fun.
no, I bet the cat. Oh god, the cat's all right. Like,
Yeah, they're fine. We used to we massage them with ice every now and again.
Aww.
And then you saw a cat go to drink water. You'll take ice cubes and put it in the water fountain.
Oh.
And then they were like, "Oh, what's this? Oh, it's cold." And then they just start drinking water because it looks fun. And then we were like, "Haha, we got you."
We trick you into staying hydrated.
Yeah, so they're good. No, our cats were fine. I mean, one night I went upstairs to sleep with a fan on, and Lily, as she usually does, she followed me upstairs to sleep next to me because that's what she wants to do. And it was so hot up there for her. She started panting like a dog, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh, that's not good.
I'm sleeping downstairs because I don't want to kill the cat.
Yeah.
So I will put the mattress on the floor, straight on the laminated floor, which is slightly chiller, but it killed my back. But
Yeah, how is your back, by the way?
no, it's fine now because I slept in the normal bed last night. But yeah,
Andre realized how old he was when he tried to get up off the floor mattress and was like, no, intense pain.
it's fine when the cat was fine. So at the end of the day, it worked out. You know?
As long as the cat is satisfied, then everything is fine in the house. Yeah,
that's
that
how
makes
it
sense.
works. That's
Yeah.
how it works.
Another reason that England is way hotter and more insufferable than other places.
The government's shit. What?
We can't make that same joke every time.
Okay.
I
will do it.
Oh no, you will. No, we have a thing called tropical nights here. So instead of like it cooling down overnight, the wind is still warm because it's still coming from that sort of the southern like Gulf Stream area. So the air itself doesn't actually cool down that much. Like,
Okay.
Like what was the temperature at night like the other night? It was like 24, 25 in the middle, like at midnight.
Yeah, but it was still hot.
And it was, because it was 5. It was like 25 for the night time when you're supposed to be sleeping is ridiculous. You're not supposed to be able to sleep in those temperatures.
We did.
Thing is, if you were doing it outside, like, you know, if you were sleeping outside, like, you know, in a forest or whatever, there'd be a breeze, right? There'd be like airflow. But because, you know,
There's no airflow. Yeah, that's true.
But in England, the breeze tends to slow down a bit at night, so the air wasn't even moving particularly. It's like no matter what time of the day, you can't really escape the heat here. It just exists.
You just can't get a break.
Yeah, it just permeates fucking everything you do. Also, because of the way our cities are sort of constructed, because America has a thing where they build their cities out. Like their cities are like fucking gigantic.
They sprawl out. They have the space. That's the thing.
Yeah, they have like infinite fucking space because they nicked it all. So they just like expand like wide. Like Los Angeles, for example, is just spread over so many miles of just like utter waste. You know that.
Yeah, there are a lot of waste. You're right.
British cities, on the other hand, tend to be built a lot closer together and out of like older buildings and like stone and concrete, and you know there's the roads are narrower, so you know at the end of the day it's less conducive to breezes and like you know wind cooling it down.
I think British like housing and British towns that were everybody built around the industry they wanted to work in, and they all clumped together because nobody wanted to walk for 40 minutes to work, and that's why you have all this because they build houses and then they're like, oh, cars. Okay, because they weren't cars to begin with, they were horses, and then there were the cars. So they didn't build the roads thinking of cars, they built the roads thinking of horses, and a horse and carriage, it's much easier, and not everybody had a horse and carriage. So that's nothing you can do. That's the problem with the old countries like this one.
Yeah. Another problem is, you know, because of the
government.
God fucking damn it. So all this sort of stuff adds up to create what's called it's like an urban heat layer or something like that. Basically, every big city in the UK like creates like a dome of just increased temperature over it because of just the sheer like not only the size of the cities but how close everything is, how dense everything is, and also you know concrete and like blacktop tarmac and roads and you know larger buildings rather than smaller buildings. They trap heat and then they release it slowly overnight. So that's why another reason why the nights are just so insufferably hot, because everything is radiating the heat it was absorbing all day. It's, you know, it creates like a sort of perfect storm of like suffering inside big cities. London in particular is awful for it.
I can't imagine how imagine those people on the tube with 36 degrees out.
I've done that tube journeys in that fucking weather, man. It's utterly
it's unbearable in the winter, man.
It's bad in the winter. It's insufferable in the summer because they are pumping heat into these things. Like, if you've never been on the London Tube, they pump heat into there anyway. Like, and it still seems to go on when, even though it's the middle of summer.
They started real estate development plans where they build these fake buildings with their hollow in the middle, and they're just the hot air escaping from the subway. Have you seen those?
No,
ones?
I haven't seen those.
They're doing that now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of buildings in London on the main lines that they're from the front. You look at it and you're like, oh, that's somebody's house, but actually there's nothing behind it.
It's just a heat vent.
It's just a heat vent.
That's mental.
Yeah,
that's actually kind of crazy when I think about it.
Look it up. It's phenomenal.
Oh, I actually need to do that. So yeah, let's actually move on to that because, like, there's tons of other reasons why, like, Britain is terrible in the heat, and the infrastructure is the infrastructure is one of them. The government is responsible for that infrastructure, so you could also include that. But yeah, rail infrastructure, for example, was built. Most of it was built in like the 1800s.
Yeah, and then never upgraded.
Never upgraded it. No, even though Brunel had the guy who invented railways basically in this country, he had a sick plan to make all the rails like slightly wider so they could have like higher speeds. You could turn at a sharper angle so you could make like the tracks go. And he had like a whole plan to like upgrade like the rail system.
Well, let me guess, the government.
The government didn't do anything. Yeah.
Okay, cool. See, I'm winning.
I mean, the guy wore his best like stovepipe hat that he could find, and it still was not enough because it would have cost so much, like.
But you invest once and then you take the benefits later, like, because that's how it is, right? We are too poor to buy cheap shoes, Billy. So that the same idea is you invest initially, and then you don't have to worry about it for a very long time. And then you don't privatize it. Oh, dude, don't get me started.
Yeah, you see, that's like a...
Oh, that's another thing with the privatization.
See, all of these good ideas, all of these good ideas you have are sort of scuppered by one thing called the British government and the fact that they're a bunch of bone idle cunts, basically.
Yeah, just why did you private? Never mind.
I know. Don't even get me started.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, so like because the rail infrastructure is so old, the heat and expansion and contraction over time since like 1870 or whatever it was put in, and this includes the tubes. The tubes were put in around that time as well.
Yeah.
Just the heat and contraction, it just makes so many things in the rails just break. It cracks the system.
Because that's metal. It's
a big contiguous bit of metal, and it just expands, and then it contracts, and then it expands, and sometimes just rails go boing,
and they break. Yeah,
rails just break off, and like trains come off the tracks if that happens. So they can't allow that to happen. A friend of ours, I'm not sure if he's he's more a friend of mine because me and him used to bitch about teaching together. But he was in the pub the other day, and he was saying, well, yeah, I tried to go to my university graduation reunion. And I was like, oh, cool, where was that? He's like, oh, it's up over here. It's like, I got the train to Southampton to get the connecting train. And he said 5 trains were cancelled, and the one train that wasn't cancelled had 2 carriages to go from Southampton to Cardiff.
That's the opposite direction.
No, that's the way he was going.
Oh, okay.
I thought
he was going to London. So
no, he wasn't going to London. He was going like away from London. But yeah, there was one train, and it was like packed full of people. Every single car, everything was squashed up together, and it was like 34 degrees.
Let me guess. No air conditioning.
No air conditioning in that train. Well, let's be fair. Actually, the train cars themselves usually do have air conditioning.
Yeah, they do. Well,
not enough when they're full, though.
Well, what you could do, open the doors.
You say that. That's actually not a bad idea.
Just open the doors.
Just open the window.
Yeah, just open.
All of a sudden, all the oxygen is being sucked out.
I remember. So Romanian trains are really crap. I haven't been on a Romanian train for years, and I'm talking at least 20 years, right? I'm not sure if they modernized anything, but I was going from central Romania to up north Romania to do a hiking path. Mm-hmm. And the people that I was with, they're like, all of a sudden, the train's moving, but we need to get off here because we forgot to get off at the station. So we all jumped out of the train because the doors wouldn't lock. So we opened the doors, and while the train was moving, one by one, we jumped out of the train like in a stupid movie with the hiking backpacks and all that shit. And we were fine.
Was the Kinks playing at the time?
No, it wasn't the Kinks.
It's like, this time tomorrow.
We generally got off the train station because we all jumped off one after the other.
Nice.
Yeah. So, just open the door.
Just open the door,
Works
guys.
in Romania.
Probably works on planes as well. Try it.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, our good buddy did not make his graduation reunion, unfortunately.
Well, he just gave up.
Yeah, he just gave up and went to the pub. Yeah, that's what he was. He was dressed for it, though. He had, like, the khaki shorts. He had a linen shirt. He was like, right, I am prepared for a long and sweaty train journey that will, like, lead to me being, in need of cooling down. And he just couldn't do it because, like, the trains were way too fucked.
Yeah, and you can't drink enough beer. Well, you're gonna get yourself sick.
Yeah, you're gonna try and drink enough beer to, like, outlast the heat wave. You're gonna make yourself sick. That is true.
Yeah, and Southampton to Cardiff is like 6 hours.
No, it's more like 4. Still a pain in the ass.
Still doesn't make it better.
I've done this, like I know the exact train journey he's done because I've done it myself, and I did it whilst I was carrying an amplifier and a bass guitar because I was going to play a gig in the middle of fucking nowhere, Wales. Luckily, someone had paid for my train ticket, so I was like, sweet, I'm going to go down there and I'll play the thing, and it'll be great. And yeah, it was during another massive heat wave. In fact, I think it was the massive heat wave we had last year. And by the time I got off the station, I was already sweating. By the time I was, like, having to lumber this fucking amp through a village to try and find where I'd get my transport link, I was already dying. And luckily, by the time I got to the actual gig, they had an outside swimming pool that was, like, basically a small lake. And I was just like, fucking jump! And I just dived straight in there, and I was like, this is the best feeling ever. I'm never leaving this lake. And
then you had to play.
Then I had to play, so I had to get out of the lake.
You get really sweaty when you play for some reason.
Yeah, well, to be fair, everyone was so sweaty that everyone had their shirts off for that gig because it was so fucking hot.
So you weren't the only one that had the shirt off?
No. In fact, I wasn't even the first one.
Wow.
The keys player, who was a really, really nice but very nerdy guy, like, he's a classical music teacher, like, he just, like, takes the shirt off and he's just, like, Elton Johning out in, like, shorts and spangly glasses. It looked great. It was a lot of fun. I wonder if I'll be able to... No, they probably haven't. No, they would have invited me by now if they were going to do it again this year. It's probably too hot. It's starting to get too hot to do these kind of outdoor festivals, man, Unless you've got, like, a big air-conditioned fridge to put people in whilst they're, like...
Whilst they're out there.
Yeah. You need some sort of, like, recovery room.
The way we're going to run out of time, finish your...
Oh, yeah. I'll get to my fucking point. Fine. I'll stop talking about fun adventures I've had and start talking about depressing stuff instead. Also, the big thing that we sort of, like, alluded to is, like, no housing in the UK has air conditioning. So, obviously, it always gets hot at home. But a lot of businesses don't either. A lot.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Like, a lot of, like, medium to large businesses or chains like yours, like, medium to large supermarkets sometimes have this, where they have, like, decent aircon.
Yeah.
A lot of places don't, man. A lot of small, older shops don't.
We went to watch the England game on Tuesday, and we went a little bit further away, not at anyway.
Not at our regular pub.
And they had like 6 staff on, no AC in there, and it was packed. We stayed outside. We watched the game through a window, because I'm like... No, absolutely not.
I cannot think of a worse place to be during a World Cup final than an un-air-conditioned building with a bunch of England fans. Sounds like hell.
It was very stinky.
Oh, God.
I'll put it that way.
Like, you can smell their sister's perfume on them kind of thing.
Yeah, they're grandmas. Anyway.
Go England. Go win the World Cup. Yay.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
No, they're not. Yeah, and the other big sort of, like, problem with, like, the UK, I mean, besides, the humidity and the island and everything... it's also the smog. The air quality here is not good. It has never been good ever since the Industrial Revolution, funnily enough.
Funny that.
UK air in particular, for some reason, has like high like levels of like pollutants and smog and shit, which not only causes like, the heat to stick to you, if that makes sense. Like, hence the constant sweating, hence the constantly feeling like you're being smothered by a blanket of death. But also, it triggers asthma attacks and makes, like, respiratory things very, very bad for a while.
That's fun.
Yeah, more asthma attacks in the heat as well. That's another medical problem to the list. The last and final thing, though, and this is a thing that, like, doesn't get brought up, but it was brought up in the article by the Red Cross where I got quite a lot of this information from.
Yeah.
Britain, culturally, fucking sucks at dealing with heat. Like, culturally, we're just not used to it. Like,
yeah, you turn into lobsters. It's hilarious.
yeah, literally. It's like you're boiling in the pot. It's like, no, everything's fine. Like, you know, British people are notoriously stubborn, don't express their emotions, like, honestly, tend to sort of, like, you know, it's a grin and bear it, stiff upper lip, we can tolerate anything kind of attitude. And like you see it in like the newspapers and in the, you know, the public press, whenever they say, oh well, 76, you know, it was hot when I was a kid, we just called it a lovely summer's day. Like that kind of attitude. Most people in Britain like think the heat waves are a good thing. They just think, oh yeah, go to the beach, mate. Yeah, like no,
That was Australian.
that was Australian. But like, he's an Australian living over here, like they all do.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, funny enough, the Aussies are actually probably better at managing it.
You know what? It was funny. You're English, and you had to try to do an English accent. That's the funniest thing to me.
I could do I could do different parts of England, but like doing like a Southern English accent, I've got one, so I can't really do it. If that makes sense. But yeah, people in Britain don't really give a shit about heat. Like they don't know how to stay cool. They don't know like how to dress in like lighter fabrics. People are still walking around wearing cotton t-shirts and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I did that.
Yeah,
but I went from AC to hot house, and I was naked in my hot house, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. But people like take the piss out of like, you know, guys in like Middle Eastern countries for wearing robes or whatever. They wear that shit for a reason, dog. They wear that shit for a reason. Like it keeps you cool.
Yeah,
linen robes. Everyone's gonna be wearing linen robes eventually.
Yeah,
it's why people in Greece like wear like linen shorts and shit like that. You know, it's you got to dress for the heat, and people don't dress for the heat.
Yeah,
you know, I'm wearing granted, I'm wearing shorts right now, but they're jean shorts. They're not really like
they're not real shorts.
They're not really shorts. They're like, you know, a style thing more than like a function thing. And quite a lot of people like, you know. Okay, so in my work, for example, like a lot of people have, you know, wear shorts because like they're walking around and doing a lot of physical exercise and stuff like that. Doctors have a very much stricter dress code, though. They're not allowed to wear shorts and t-shirts, so they have to like every single doctor I ever like saw this week was like sweating themselves inside out and to death because they were, you know, they were going from wards which weren't air conditioned.
But the thing is, they have to wear that because they bodily fluids and all that.
Say again?
Bodily fluids and all. So a doctor, if you will deal with anything, you're probably going to deal with bodily fluids, and it's a matter of health and safety. That's why they're not allowed.
No. But you're thinking of doctors in hospitals wearing scrubs, right? Like, I'm talking about psychiatrists, so they're just wearing their usual suit shit.
Why?
Because
if anything,
British.
you're more relatable. You know,
you would think so, yeah. But being a doctor also like means people are, you know, kind of look at you as someone important. So people tend to, you know, it's.
I get it.
The one guy,
stuck up cunts.
The one psychiatrist who was fine was a South African guy who was like, "Fuck it, I'm getting sandals. I'm getting my like long flowing like golf trousers, and I'm getting like the linenest linen shirts I can find."
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Because he's South African, he knows that shit. He was like, "Oh, Billy, how you doing? Yeah, you're finding a way to stay cool." He was taking the piss.
That's a bad accent.
That's his accent, man.
I'm sure that.
I worked with this guy for 5 years. I know what he sounds.
Next time when you see him record him.
No, trust me.
No, I don't trust any to read or record.
Oh god, I can't just go around randomly recording psychiatrists and trying to explain.
Be like, I need to prove a point.
Okay, one time at some point I will get someone to corroborate this with you. This will be off podcast. Don't worry about it. Speaking of hospitals, by the way,
okay,
what do you think the amount of let's just say the amount of air conditioning across the NHS, what do you think, you know, how many buildings do you think are at risk because they don't have air conditioning?
All of them.
90%.
I was close.
Yeah, see, the thing is with hospitals is they were all built at different times out of different kinds of buildings. They're usually old, they're usually listed buildings, a lot of them are in historic buildings, so you can't really do that much to them, etc., etc. Most hospitals don't have air conditioning in the UK, which is fucking insane.
Yeah,
that's insane. That's stupid. That's dangerous. We need to sort that problem out right now. Problem is they're not going to.
No, because it's why would they? As I told you, dude, if it cost you $3,000 for a normal house, for an air conditioning system, you imagine how much it costs you to have an industrial.
Yeah, and it's done through the NHS system, which has a preferred supplier, as in you can't charge, you can't negotiate prices with them. So they'll just charge like, make it $40,000 a ward or whatever, like $100,000 a ward. Fuck it, they can name whatever price they like.
Yeah.
And because it's the NHS, they'll just pay it. which is why the NHS spends so much more money than it has to, because it like has to go through one supplier that's approved by the NHS, and whoever gets to approve those suppliers, we don't know, probably the commissioners. We don't actually know.
It's probably approved by somebody in an office that used to be a doctor and cared at some point in his life, and then all of a sudden he realized, American system works so well for us to get rich, so let's just copy that and say we're actually not privatized yet, but actually if you look properly into it, they're privatized, all of them.
See, there's a good point there, but that's not actually what happened.
Okay.
So I did a bit of research on this once. It turns out there used to be a bunch of old doctors who used to give a shit, who sort of ran the NHS.
Yeah.
Tony Blair fired them all over pay disputes and replaced them with business leaders from the business community.
Oh.
So they have no experience in health at all.
So they're not even doctors.
They're not doctors. They're not even. Half of them don't even have degrees.
Yeah. Well, honestly,
it's a fucking cash grab, man. It's so fucking evil.
It is, because it is the NHS. Even though we look at it and we're like, it's a welfare state sort of situation, it's not anymore, because the NHS itself, with their own employees, they can't fucking cover everyone. So what they do, they go to outside people to do NHS work, and the outside people, they're like, pay us, and then it's all privately owned, so they're making more money. So it's so fucking ridiculous.
If you were like a sort of person who was like fucking evil in like 2012, and you decided, hey, I could start a business where I like overcharge like disabled people for their like long-term care, that was a really good time for you. You made a shitload of money.
Yeah.
And those people have slowly gravitated in towards the NHS proper, and they're slowly getting worse and closer, and it's always going to be like that until eventually we burn the whole government down. But until that happens, allegedly, until that happens, we're kind of stuck in this situation where the hospitals need to have aircon sorted. It just needs to happen. I mean, like, just in like the last week, there was like 4,000 surgeries cancelled or something because it was just too hot to do them.
Yeah, well, I think you shouldn't sweat inside of people.
No, you
Quite
shouldn't.
Literally.
You should not sweat inside people. Actually, no, there's one case where you can sweat inside, but that's a different thing. That's not surgery.
Hit you with the flip-flop, I swear to God.
Yeah, there's so many other things that like go wrong in the heat. MRI machines, for example, heat affects the magnetism of the MRI, so you can't actually use it in like hot conditions. IT services start going down because every server room in every building
it's already hot, so it's even hotter. It doesn't work.
Yeah, all of a sudden the AC can't keep up with the outside temperature, and all of a sudden shit starts going wrong.
That's funny because that old box of a computer that I have, I'm gonna have to edit this on it and then process it on it.
Yeah.
It's going to take me all day.
It's going to be really, really warm on that computer.
I'm going to have to bring a fan from upstairs and to blow it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to have fun doing this.
Literally most of my, like, all week, so I've been going through this heat wave, and I've been visiting various different, like, hospital wards. They were all mental health wards. They weren't physical health wards, but I was visiting a lot of different wards. I think maybe half of one of them had air conditioning, and the air conditioning was broken. So... And bear in mind, these are wards where people are stuck. They live there. They're forced to live there by the government. That's what the section is. Some of them can't even leave because they're not well enough. So all of a sudden, you've got people stuck inside hot, high heat insulating buildings with the NHS, which won't fix its own air conditioning system to cool them down. And the temperatures in the rooms are also getting up to like 28, 29 degrees in the shade.
Let me guess, they had fans everywhere?
There was fans fucking everywhere. They pulled out fans from like 1982. They were like, let's find this old stock of... you find, like, sometimes in an old building, you'll find like a big pile of fans that don't work or whatever.
Yeah.
They got all those and they got them working. That's what they did in order to fill the offices with fans.
Oh,
and
it was a big only fan building.
Never make that joke again. Never make that. Okay. I've got like a sort of miscellaneous list of like other health effects of extreme heat and heat waves and things. You might be surprised to learn about some of these. Did you know that it reduces the effects of psychiatric medication?
No way.
It does. How it works is, so stuff like lithium and clozaril, high intensity sort of schizophrenia drug. It relies on a sort of balance of the chemical in your blood, and that blood like chemical balance can shift if you get, say for example, too hot, and you start dehydrating yourself, and you're not keeping, and all of a sudden your meds aren't working, and stuff's getting really weird, and you're starting to see things that maybe weren't there before, and
Is it that it's also the fact that you're probably sweating some of that drug out?
You're sweating the stuff out, and like it's changing the chemical, like the balance in your body. It's making it, and it sometimes it can make you seize up. Sometimes it can cause seizures, like that kind of shit. It can go really, really badly if you dehydrate yourself. So stay hydrated, people, if you are on medication. Thank you very much. Another one, less sleep. Because of the reduced sleep, everyone gets more mentally unwell. Have you noticed that recently?
Oh, yeah.
Like
I'm barely holding on.
Yeah, like me and my partner, my partner suffers with the heat even worse than I do, and we were both like kind of grumpy and shit with each other for a couple of days. So just like, hey, honey, how you doing? Yeah, not bad. Like just, we both come back from work, we're both dead. It's just like, I'm gonna go lay in a puddle of my own sweat for a while. Yeah, me too. Goodbye. It's just.
I mean, it's the only way you have to wait it out, unfortunately, in this country.
Yeah, you do. And also, hot weather tracks with like an increase in crime as well.
Yeah.
Because people get like more frustrated, more angry, and therefore more fights happen. They go figure. I always used to assume that there was more fights in Bournemouth, like, down south sort of area, like, because of like the hot weather, and no, it turned out it was just the northerners. It's a joke. Yeah. Other sort of like health effects, schools having to close. That can be a problem because then, say for example yourself, Andre, you're a person who goes to work at a place with air conditioning.
Yes.
Your child's school, most schools in the UK, do not have air conditioning.
We know.
That's why they keep closing. So you send your little Andre off to school, and then he gets sent back whilst you're at work, which means you have to come home to look after him.
Well, that actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not
to you.
Not me. Well, my boss was on shift, and he's like, oh, crap, they're advising me I should come and collect my child.
Advising.
No, because they're like, oh, you don't have to come and pick him up, but we do advise you to pick him up.
Because we're like, going home.
Can you come and take your child? Basically, they were saying, can you come and take your child? Because the only reason we're still here is because your child's still here.
We'd like to heavily advise that you take your child home so we can fuck off and get in the pool, please.
And he's like, oh, I'm not sure what to do. And I'm like, oh, dude, I know exactly what you should do. Go get your child.
Go get your child. Bring them here to the air-conditioned place.
No, he brought them home because he lives slightly far away.
Was he trying to kill him? Might as well put him in a hot car,
Well, there's air conditioning in his car.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Dogs die in unair-conditioned cars, and so do kids.
Tried them both. What? No.
But yeah, knock-on effects from giant, like, massive heat waves aside, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get more frequent because it's England and also climate change. So we're going to have to get used to these things. So I have come up with a short list, granted, but have a little bit of positivity about this whole world-ending thing.
Okay. Just end it all and then we don't
start again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you're losing in an RTS, just like, nope, fucking starting the mission again, No, we can't really do that. So we need to adapt our infrastructure. How do we do that in the UK? Well, we've already talked about like the external shutters. I also had another idea. I don't know if this will work.
Is this patent pending?
Kind of. So we have like triple glazing windows in like buildings now, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if we built windows in such a way that we could adjust the level of glazing we had on our windows? So we have variable glazing windows. So we can set it like, so the window like has a big pane of glass, right?
Mm-hmm.
You means you have to tunnel out like in the brickwork, you have to make a sort of slot for the rest of the, for the individual panes of glass, and you can adjust them like with a winch or something, just like, clink, there you go, now it's triple glazed, now it's single glazed, clink, you see?
It's not gonna work, dude.
It might. I don't know. Someone with a building degree, like, help me out. Oh wait, you've got a building degree.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It's not gonna work.
Okay, you have to explain to me why that wouldn't work, because I'm curious.
So glazing has gas inside of them.
Oh. Okay.
So that's your first problem. Then your second problem is it wouldn't be airtight, right? Because you want the glazing to be airtight, and in the moment when you don't make it airtight in the winter, there's gonna be air escaping in. Even though you should aerate your house every single day, even if it's cold outside. But if it's not airtight, all the cold air will come in. So when you want the cold air not to come in, it's gonna come in. Third of all, you are patent pending a system where you will make your walls thinner, so you have less support on them. So that means you have to make thicker walls on the inside rather than the outside. So that will put you in a situation where you, instead of having a, let's say, 5 centimeter thick wall, which is just empty wall like this one's.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll have to make it much thicker so they support the weight of the building, so you lose space on the inside.
Right.
Would you like me to keep on going?
Okay, yeah, that's
I'll find you more things.
It's all right. Like, bury my ideas, like, you know.
I'm not. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying it's stupid, Billy. I'm just saying it's not functional, okay?
I'm sure there's some genius who could work out a way to do this in a way that works, but
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
right,
going to be me.
Okay.
Not on this podcast.
Okay.
So we could, as you said, we could have put, like, you know, massive amounts of money into air conning everything. Now,
Yeah.
this has, like, you know, a plus side in that it's probably going to be fucking necessary, at least for hospitals and schools and shit.
Yep.
The downside of this is it makes climate change go faster. So what do we do with that? Might not be the perfect answer to things. So I've done a little bit of Googling, and I found a beautiful thing. Have you ever heard of something called a heat pump?
A heat pump?
Yes. It's like a replacement for a boiler in your house, right? So instead of having a boiler which just heats hot water and that gives you heating in the winter, and then during the rest of the time you just open the windows, right?
Yeah.
Instead of that, it works like a giant fridge. So a heat pump will pump hot air around your house in the winter and pump cold air, like coldness, you know, out into the environment. And then during summer, you can actually reverse it. So it turns your house into a fridge where it sucks the heat out of your house and puts it onto the outside.
That's air conditioning, dude.
No. It works from the same system. So the same radiators that provide you heat would also provide you coolness.
That's an air conditioning, dude. Because air conditioning does exactly the same thing with heating as well.
No, because it runs on the water rather than the. Okay.
How are we gonna get?
I'm gonna have to use diagrams with this.
How are you gonna get a water cold?
Well, that's the thing. You pump the heat out. It's a heat pump. So you pump the heat out of the cold water.
Because that's not because in order to get hot water inside of the radiators, you have to warm up the water, right? Then you have to cool up the water in order to have cold water in the radiators.
I don't know exactly how this thing works, dude. All I know is that it works.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is invented by people far smarter than both of us, and it works very, very well. It's also very, very low carbon. It's also very energy efficient. Slight problem. The only problem is it's fucking expensive to put in.
Like everything.
Yes. I looked up some estimates. It can cost anywhere between 9 and 17 grand for one house.
So I'll put the AC. I'll just make sure it gets hotter here, so just like kill all of us. And we're done with it.
It's just gonna reverse the AC and just murder us.
Yeah, just do it.
Here's the thing, right? The government actually does a grant to replace your boiler with a heat pump. You can get a grant of about up to about 9 grand, which is about half the cost of a heat pump.
So the heat pump, it's basically the American AC units.
Yes, except it works on your whole house and it's awesome.
I see.
To be honest, I think like this would be the kind of thing which would work the best, just like switching from boilers to heat pumps, because we're gonna need official central heating and central cooling at this point.
Yeah.
England's not gonna get any colder, so fuck it. That's what we might as well do. The problem is, I can't see the government ever doing that. Can you?
No, dude. Like, I have zero faith in this government to run a tap.
For like any government, like the next government's probably not going to do it. The government after that's probably not going to do it. And by that point, we're at 2035 and we're dead anyway. So,
well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put AC in my house because, you know, I'll just rush it. As in, like, just speedrun this because what's the point at this point?
Fair enough. So, I suppose we'll leave it there on a positive note. There are technological solutions that will make all this a lot easier. It's just a matter of convincing people to actually do them. So,
yeah. Let's hope they're gonna do it.
Positivity. Yay. Go buy yourself a heat pump. Stay hydrated and stay out of the sun, people. The sun is a deadly
subscribe, and all that kind of jazz.
Fuck! Don't do that. Like, why the hell would you do that?
Like and subscribe.
Why would you waste time liking and subscribing? You should be getting a heat pump in your house.
Right. See you next time.
Stay cool, people.